If you do not want to change, if you do not want to better yourself, if you do not want to break outside of this matrix, if you want to live in your comfortable delusion that they have built for you, do not watch these videos. Leave this channel immediately. If you do not want any truth, don't want to understand, if you are not here to hear something that's outside of your own mind and accept others' minds and opinions and the way they think for themselves, you do not belong. And finally, if you are not trying to be positive, if you are not trying to help create solutions while we discuss the problems and how they got here, you do not belong. Negativity, hate, disrespect, name calling, those things will not be allowed here on this platform and not in this empire. We are the ones, the true Americans that want to be free and stand as we have always stood.
Still like the fuel to the game, watch it spark. My lines burn like blunts getting smoked in the dark. Hella cooking shit up if your ass wanna spar. Barbecue your beef up like the seats in my car. Cool yourself off refrigerator jar. Baby rappers be not like this is not an art. You forgot about that part. Lady rappers been acting like this is not an art.
Yeah.
You forgot about that.
Yeah, welcome to another Monday. Welcome back again. You know what it is, back to back, Monday through Friday. We're gonna be in here turning up like we always do. Nothing special, just kicking it with the crew. Hey guys, I hope you guys had a good day. Good day. You know how it is. And we'll start off as usual with our shout out to everybody that went to work today, everybody that did overtime. The world does not run without you. One more time. You guys make the world go round. And there was a lot of stuff that happened today, lots of new updates, nothing new under the sun apparently. Everything is still rumors of wars and wars, right? Kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation. Shit, family member against family member. The world is completely divided right now. Just divided. All right. That sucks. Puts us in a spot where, like, are we even gonna work together? Is there anything gonna come from this? Are we just shooting in the dark at a tiny little target? What's going on here? Are we floating in space and we don't know which way up, down, left, right, all the above? Like, what's going on? Okay, there's just this huge confusion all over the world. Like, we all forgot how to get along for like, what the fuck? There was a point in time where we were all getting along for a minute there. And it's just a few bad actors that are keeping the whole bunch poisoned and fucked up and bad. The whole shit. Just a few bad actors. And it sucks. Because ain't nobody even bothering them. Alright? I won't lie. The whole Israel and, you know, the Israelites and the Islamites, you know, because they're Islamic and Israeli, and that's something different. That has nothing to do with politics. That is some religious shit that y'all need to go and just, whoever wants to volunteer. You guys pick a field and go fucking fight it out. Okay? The leaders of your church do it. And then whatever leaders are alive left, those are the ones that get to run shit. Oh, wait. You guys don't want to do anything simple. You want to complicate things. Like try to convince people of something that they just don't want to believe in. Okay, you tell me 2 + 2 is 5. But every time I do the math, it comes out to be 4. But you want me to believe it's 5. We have a problem. That is the issue. You want me to believe something that is not logical and not rational. That is my biggest problem with the world right now. My biggest problem with the world is everybody keeps trying to convince me that I'm crazy, and I'm not crazy. Okay? I may get crazy, you feel me? But because y'all want to turn up and you think I'm not gonna, turn up right on back. So it's very disappointing, especially when you don't ask nothing from nobody, you don't need nothing from nobody, but they expect something from you. Like, nigga, what? Nigga, who are you? Like, and then there's a lot of beggars out there, right? They're begging for money online. Like, it's crazy how, like, I remember when we were kids, right? Or younger, maybe teenagers or whatever, and we were hanging out. And we would just hang out, and we didn't have any money. Well, some of us had jobs or whatever, but it was rare when you had a job in your teens. It was kind of rare. Nowadays, you'll probably see more of it. But back in that day, we didn't really have jobs. We hung out, and we would come up with money. How we got it was interesting, because each person had their own little hustle, their own little niche. Some people would just go around asking people for money. And these little white kids would get it. They would get money. Hey, do you have $1? Boom. Hey, do you have $1? Boom. And that's where all that panhandling came from. Them niggas used to do that shit good. Nowadays, there's no effort into the panhandling. Back in my parents' day, it was, we'll work for food sign. And they'll feed you, and then you go do some work. And then from there, you will get opportunities and shit. Now, I remember that. It's all messed up in society right now. I'm just looking, and this shit is towed up from the flow down, G. All right, so I did have another thing here. I was looking. Thinking about doing that, looking at the whole world, you feel me? I was thinking about that. Yeah, it sounds pretty good right now to get this fucking AI to answer. Like, fucking somebody needs an answer for this shit. The fuck is wrong with people right now? It's been a while. This is for everybody that
I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong. Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud.
Yep. And that's what we do around here. We are winners. Now remember this. Not all winners are liked. They don't always like you even if you are a winner. Sometimes the person they don't like wins. I know. Like last year, when the Cardinals beat the Cowboys. Nobody was liking that. Nobody expected it. Everybody was like, the Cardinals are about to get smacked. And the Cowboys got whooped. Feel me? And they got all the boss players. So it's not like the Cardinals can't get you. Ooh. It's just that what plays is our coaching putting together? Who's calling the plays? What formations do we have? Who's on the field? These things all matter. So yeah, defensive coordinator, right? Offensive coordinator, these things matter because they're coordinating the offensive attack and they're coordinating the defensive stand. So you can't stand on defense and you can't attack on offense, then your football team's gonna shit. And that's pretty much what the Cardinals have been going through this whole time. And that's fine. Teams go through that shit. It's cool. We'll figure out what happens here. I'm definitely gonna get that Madden 27. That shit's gonna be fire. It's definitely gonna be fire, and the reason why it's gonna be fire is because Jeremiah Love and the Cardinals. The Cardinals got a banging ass roster, and the thing is, here's the funny thing. Madden is gonna score everybody on the Cardinals low on purpose. On purpose. I can guarantee you that. But we still gonna win. That's the crazy part. That is the craziest part about it. The Cardinals, like, if you actually pick up the sticks on the Cardinals and you play the Cardinals win. They're good. There's just like I said, there's just certain players that you could probably trade away. Don't get me wrong. You know, I was playing 26. I ended up trading away James Conner. I liked him a lot. I traded him away after what? This year right here. Then I traded him away 2027. I got leverage for him. So it was better that way. But I found a quarterback because I traded for Shedeur Sanders. I don't know. I like that kid. I think he's cool. You know, he comes from football in his blood, so it's kind of natural for him. So I just want to see him do good. And if you bring Shedeur Sanders, like what I did is all I did was trade Jacoby Brissett straight across. Did no picks, no nothing. Just here, take Jacoby Brissett, give me Shedeur Sanders. Boop. Threw him out there. Bruh. We went to the fucking Super Bowl. It's crazy. That was crazy. All right. So I like that though. That's kind of where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. We need to have fun in the world. We need to have more fun and focus on more like friendly competition. You know what I'm saying? Like all this like this hate from this left or this right, but like it's everybody in the middle is still like, dude, why are you mad? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody gets to choose what they want to do here in America, but nobody wants to respect the rules. That's the part that's destroying it. Because like, okay, we can do what we want, but we won't respect the rules that say we can't do certain things. Like, come on, this is kind of backwards. Like, you got liberty, pursuit of happiness, and life. That's what you're guaranteed here. Okay, so anybody that's infringing on that, that's what's really messing up our society. It's making us have to pick a side. Like, and then one side says they're for these things, but they're pushing a hidden agenda, and then this other side is saying they're for those things and they're pushing a hidden agenda. So it's like, okay, who's really for it? Like, can we put down the side shit, handle the main shit, and then the side shit, hey, everybody could just live their life the way they want to, right? How come I can't just do what I want to? Okay, as long as I don't steal, right? As long as I don't kill, as long as I don't, do bullshit, right? All right, cool. I can just go do my thing, cool. Allah Akbar in the corner somewhere, all right, bet. But as long as you're not trying to, like, yeah. Come on, bro. Come on, that was funny. But real shit. Because we want to make sure we're giving everybody the opportunity here in America to do what they're going to do. As long as it's benefiting society and the people around them, sure. Now, if you're doing some shit that's putting people at a detriment or putting them in harm's way, yeah, you gotta go. Like, real shit. We put people from here in a box all the time, some timeout. Yeah, we do that all the time. And if you're not from here, why give you a timeout space when we can use that for somebody from here and we can just send your ass out there? Like, bro, we gave you an opportunity and you want to mess that up? Like really bite the hand that feeds you type shit, right? And then, like, okay, fine, we bend over backwards and we let some people get away with some things. And then when it comes to somebody that is a native of here, right? Or somebody that's born here, cultured here, they do that same thing. Boom, you got to be made as an example to deter, right, the people that live here from doing it. But the people that are not from here, they can get some freebies, right? Because it's like, oh, well, you know, we want to make sure everybody has opportunity. Well, dude, you had your opportunity, but you just did this shit. You fucking bye, Felicia. Come on, man. Like, how many? Look, I asked the ladies, if a nigga messed up, he came out of nowhere, you know, he hit it off, everything was cool in the beginning, he fucking up, and he just really just did some fucked up shit that's really like broke your, like, look, he already cheated on you, 3 weeks in, nigga, you want to stay with him? No, probably not, right? So, bye Felicia type shit. And that's how we need to treat this. We need to treat this like anybody coming to America, they're trying to date us, right? Because they want to become permanent. They want to marry us and become us. Becoming one, they want to be American. So we need to treat it as a relationship. If we treat each person coming in as a relationship, I bet you gonna look at everybody coming in this bitch way different. Real shit. Now that right there is that Michael Byro. But real talk, the relationship that we have with the people coming into our country is very important, because if we have a bad relationship with somebody coming over here, that's how towers blow up. That's how marathons get bombed. That's how schools get shot up. That's how all kinds of shit. It just rolls downhill. Shit rolls downhill. Mom having a bad day gives dad a bad day. Dad gives you a bad day. You go to school, give the teacher a bad day. The teacher, so on and so forth. And it just, dude, this is crazy. It's crazy how what you do can fuck up what I do today. Damn! Damn! Like, nobody thinks about it that way. And then if they did, they'd be more careful about the choices they make because of the aftermath and the splashback and shit. Because if you're within the splash zone of the explosion of their fuck up, it's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna ruin your whole day. I'm talking for real. Like, let them have that. So, I was definitely, man, I love Brainstorm. I love hanging out with you guys. This is fun, you know. This is really cool, just interacting, hanging out. I got updates. We're going to do the AI interview here shortly. We're going to do lots of stuff. But we're just chopping it up, you know what I'm saying? Because we got to remember that we're people. Like, everybody, when I'm looking at them on the screen, I watch different podcasts. I watch YouTube. I watch movies and stuff like that. I look at them on the screen. I see a regular person. That's why it's so easy for me to see past a movie scene and actually see how real that person is. Because you can see somebody's personality through the way they play a character, right? And when we're on TV, we all have a character or a persona that we play. But it's not really us playing. It's actually a part of us because we can't do anything that's not in us already. Does that make sense? It's like, if you don't know how to ride a bike because you ain't never had that experience and that knowledge and that muscle memory, you're not going to be able to ride a bike. If you don't know how to swim because you haven't actually done it and experienced it and actually like practiced it and made it a part of your life, you're not going to know how to swim. Just like walking. Okay, that's why babies got to learn that shit. All kinds of, like, everything is a full circle in who you are. Everything you put out is who you are. Everything you say is who you are. Everything you do is who you are. That's why it's easy for people to try to judge you by your track record, because that's who you are. That's what you've done. That's your whole repertoire. That's your whole renown. The society knows you as whoever in the fuck. What did you do? Right? Where were you? Me, I've done a lot of shit, but I didn't do anything long enough to be considered that. Does that make a sense? Like, people say, oh, jack of all trades, master of none. I am a master of myself, so I'm a master of one. That's all I can do. But I am a jack of all trades, master of one, me. Why? Because every decision I make, every new trade I take on, I have to know it well enough to be able to speak on it. So that way, if somebody's having a conversation with me, they want to test my knowledge, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, if they try to go into some extra, like, you know, crazy, like, history of and when did it all start, nigga, I don't know, but I know how to do it. You see what I'm saying? See? Now, there's a lot of people out there like that. This is wonderful. These are the people we want to find. The people that understand everything, but they're not really moving, sticking to one thing, because, like, there's so much experience to get before you can truly know who you are. Like, the types of things you like, you have to try a couple different categories first before you could be like, okay, I like this side, I'm gonna stay over here, like, you know, like, and that's who you are. That's who you are, right? That's who you become. The shit that you find most rewarding or beneficial or fun. A lot of people just go to fun, like, oh, clubs, drinks, right? I smoke a little Southside tie, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, but it's nothing like crazy. Like, some people, they give up completely because they don't have any direction, they don't have any goals, and they don't know what to like. This is when they start doing all kinds of crazy drugs and shit. This is when people start to go down these rabbit holes. Like, have you ever seen somebody like fall into a conspiracy hole, like really, like the conspiracy hole, and then they think people are after them and shit? Like, that's the thing. When you amass a certain amount of knowledge and then you start saying certain names out loud, shit will start popping up on your phone. People will start, what the fuck is this? Like, you know, real suspicious type activity. And yes, you can get very paranoid from this. So do not learn shit you are not ready to defend and stand on. That's why I didn't dig too deep with Epstein and all the rest of that shit. I already know what's going on. We all already knew what's going on. We know. So what are you gonna do about it? What do you want to do about it? Oh, we want it. What? Okay. And then what? If all the billionaires and trillionaires and millionaires that were involved in this shit got locked up right now, and then what? There's still kids that are trafficked. There's still kids that are these other grooming gangs. There's still all that. What's it gonna matter if all the rich people go? Now we can't access any of that money. Half the GDP's gone instantly. Now what? They're gonna tax us more because they can't tax them now? What? Like, what do you think's gonna happen? You get 5 or 6 people. Oh, wow, big deal. And then the shit already happened. The people are already traumatized. Now what? Oh, you give them some money and, oh, that's gonna make them feel better? Oh, they're a millionaire now. And then they're gonna go to the same party? Really? Like, what the fuck? I'm confused, guys. What's gonna come of all of it? Okay, so why hate Trump? Why? Okay, he did this, he did that. Well, everybody else did all this other shit too. So what? Now what? If everybody went to jail right now, what? You're gonna go to office? Who's gonna run the shit? We're kind of locked right now, guys. And then, oh, all of a sudden, Spencer Pratt gets kicked out of the race because these mail-in votes magically appeared for all these other people that never got voted for. Okay, sure. So regular people ain't gonna make it. All right, bet. You see it firsthand. Now what? Their whole hand has been revealed already. Their whole hand has been revealed already. We see all their cards. Okay, it's already checkmate. Now what? We gonna run the game back? Or we just gonna pretend like he ain't in checkmate now? Keep playing. Like, what? What's going on here? We have all the evidence. We have all the people. What now? What's exactly? Nothing. It's gonna be the same ass life we're still in. I know, right? Nothing changes. The people that were affected by this, if you had your children around one of these guys, you're probably a millionaire too. Your parents probably got bought and they don't want to admit some shit. That's crazy. Yeah, that shit happens. And it's not like, oh wow, like a real regular person probably wouldn't do that. But a desperate person would definitely do something like that. Sell their child, you know what I'm saying? Like, or their kid wins a contest and they get money from this corporation, and their kid goes on a day trip to this billionaire or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? This shit happens. Like, but I mean, you're allowing you're allowing this type of situation to be taking place, because especially if you're not going to chaperone things like that. So we'll move forward. This is why I don't get into that shit, because nothing's going to come of it, and the deed has already been done. So only God can really judge that, and God can only give retribution at this point. This is all about money. I mean, just be legit about it. It's just like, okay, well, you touched me when I was a kid, so I want some money. Like, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's really what it is. And if they said it like that, it doesn't sound, see what I'm saying? It don't sound like, you know, don't sound as strong. It sounds more like, you touched me when I was a kid, nigga, go to jail. Like that, why aren't they in jail at this point? You feel me? People take the money and shut up. Is that what that is? And then mad when the money run out? Or how does it work? I'm not sure. And then what's gonna happen? What's gonna come of any of it? They got enough money that they can sit in a cell and make phone calls and have all the food they want. Like they can have bodyguard protection in there. They get like bruh, like they a billionaire. What do you think is gonna happen? Like, that's the part I'm not getting. Nobody's really looking at this shit. They not looking at this shit for real. They not. So anyways, that's why there's no point in getting into that. Okay, you hear this shit happens, take it to court, convict. If it don't work, leave it alone. That's it. There's nothing else can happen from that point. All right, now all these parties and all these different people associated with, bro, that shit is so old, bro. That's dead to rights at this point. That's how old that shit is. It's just like, bro, like that shit happened a long time ago. Nobody did nothing now after all these years. Nigga, let that go. Like, it's OV now. At this point, like, it's like 7 years or some shit. It's the statute of limitations. Nigga, that shit is like 12, 13 years ago. Like, bro, what are you talking about? like, come on. Even if you had got out, that would have fell off by now. Like, bruh, like, you see, this is the thing that people don't know. Felonies fall off after like 7 years. So if you keep your nose clean, that motherfucker will go away. I know, that's that, what do they call it? Jubilee? Yeah, every 7 years. Damn. Anyways, man, I gotta brush up on my Judaism. You gotta know your different cultures. I'll tell you that. Because if you don't know what they talk about when they're telling you, oh, they'll trick your ass so quick. Make you think, oh, y'all worship the same God. And it's like, even if we did worship the same God, y'all don't mess with Jesus. Y'all don't fuck with Jesus at all. So it's like, yeah, you're not getting in, buddy. It is what it is. Many will say, Lord, Lord, but just say I don't know you. That sounds pretty messed up. Like, I'm not worthy. So if I get in, it's because he's giving me the grace. I'll accept it. But if I don't get in, shit. I'm just getting used to suffering right now. I'm just taking it little by little. This place sucks. I'm talking about the world, bro. It's like on fire. Okay, and then here's the thing. If you're American, you're stuck in America. Oh, guys, look, there's nowhere to go. I've tried to get out this bitch. There's nowhere to go. Look. Canada is but nah, you don't want to go there. You might as well stay here. It's better. You'll have more opportunity. I'm not going to Mexico. Like, anything down south right now that speaks Espanol is probably not the best bet for any American. I don't care if you are from there. If you've been here your whole life, that's not your home. And they'll treat you like American. They'll play you, bro. This is something that I noticed, something that I know because, like, how people are, like, even a lot of people that are, like, native to where I'm from, when people come from out of town, they try to get over on them, too. Just like when you go to Vegas, or Vegas, they quick. They quick to come and get you. Oh, yeah, you want to go? Yeah. Like, huh? Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, they'll get you. You won't even know. Next thing you know, you're on Xanax. Next thing you know, you're drunk somewhere with your shirt off. Next thing you know, hey, I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've witnessed, like, hey, you okay over there? No, we're good, fool. Like, oh, shit. Get up out of here. Don't be trying to be a hero. You can say something, though. Hey, yo, no, fool, all right. Like, all right, then, shit, keep that to a minimum, because the police is right over there. And they're going to be looking like, oh, shit. Like, yeah, that's all you can do, bro. Nowadays, you don't run up. Playing the hero is dead, bro. That shit died when Aladdin came out. You guys remember Aladdin? Street rat, riff rat. Oh, man. Right? That's what I'm talking about. See? Oh, hood rats. And then, Princess Jasmine. Cute as a button, little sweetheart, but guess what? She want to go run the streets. Her dad got her all hooked up. She got pet tiger and shit, but she want to run the streets. What she do? She sneak out. What do girls be doing? They sneak out. Like, look, man, I don't know what it is. Okay, maybe it was all of these girls watching Princess Jasmine sneak out gave them the idea when they was babies, and then now they want to sneak out. Right? And they want an Aladdin, right? Aladdin was cool as fuck. He was cool. He was like hopping across buildings with poles and shit. He had a little monkey he was talking to. Bruh, he had his own crib. It wasn't like, didn't nobody have electricity, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he had the best view. Like, that was the spot. Aladdin was the guy. Like, don't sleep on him. But then he came out of nowhere with all the money. Oh, shit. She didn't even know who he was when he walked up. That's how fly he was. You feel me? So, this is men and women right here in a nutshell. Women want to be out there with the bad boy, but then when you come through, right? When you come through and you were Prince, she was acting all stuck up at first or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He was being all Mr. Nice Guy and shit. And then he was all like, he popped up on his ride. Like, yo, you trying to take a ride? You feel me? And she was just like, all right, then. Fine, I'll see what you talking about. Only because, remember, they had met in the hood first. Now, she had her experience running around with the hood boy. You feel me? Now, she already knows that's not going to work out. She got snatched up. He got snatched up by the police. Remember that shit? He got locked up. He ain't coming back. He ain't coming back, shorty. You feel me? Now, when he gets out, he got out through magic. So you got to remember, the old him was done. The old him was locked up. till he made a plan and made a deal. And he went out with this old dude, right? They broke out of prison, you feel me? Now, back in that day, they didn't have a tracking system, but they knew who he was. They knew. That's why at the end, they wrapped his ass up again, right? But mistaken identity. Look, Aladdin goes deep. A lot of people don't know, like, how deep a lot of the Disney movies were. And then as kids, we get these in our heads and we don't even really know, but our brains sucked it up. So like we're over here acting it out without even realizing it, you know? Under the sea? Oh shit, don't get me started down with a sweater. Hell yeah, it's better, right? Take it from me, haha, type shit. It's wild, I'm telling you. Look. And this is just straight bullshit from Disney. Oh my gosh, bruh. I can't with Disney. Ugh. I need to stop. All right. Let's get on to something more serious here. Let's get to something more serious because oh shit. Aladdin is fun. Like if you get a chance, go back and analyze Aladdin. I bet you'll be shocked. Pause that shit and be like, you know what? What? I get it. Let me see. I mean, we could do Christians and Muslims. It's about time. Nah, we did that already. Or the part 2? I think we did part 1. My friends, the Raging Tomato. They're on right now. American versus Israel versus Iranian. That should be interesting. 3 Christians versus 3 Jesus against the Trinity. Now, me, I don't remember Jesus talking about the Trinity. I think people are recognizing the Trinity, which is okay. So I'm bad about that. Let's see. What else do we got here? Republican versus 25 Democrats. That sounds interesting. I didn't watch this one yet. Matter of fact, I want to hear if any of these people know what the hell is going on with their policies. Or are they just going to complain? That's what I want to know. So I'm going to share this in a second. I will be analyzing this. If it's decent or whatever, we'll keep going. But if it is trash, I'll shut that shit off and we'll go do something different. And we're gonna do it at 1.5, so it's gonna sound a little bit faster. Give yourself like 3 or 4 seconds and you'll get used to it. And then it's just like us talking right now.
You're arguing that things economically were better under Joe Biden
at the end of his administration.
Right? Yeah. So
this is one MAGA, all right, Republican versus 20 far left Democrats featuring Dave Rubin. This guy right here is Dave Rubin. This one is Surrounded. This is Jubilee. Yeah, Jubilee Surrounded. Right, shout out to Jubilee. Let's go ahead and run our little things right now. Go ahead, roll one if you need to. Real quick, we're gonna roll these for. Now you guys know what that thing is in the background. All right, so my bad guys, we have to play those because we're going to be checking this out right now. This is under review. We're about to see what these people are talking about, if we agree or if we do not.
can you give me an example of how?
Yeah, GDP growth was better off. Real median wage growth was better off. Inflation was better off at the end of his administration. Unemployment was better off at the end of his administration. We had the worst year of job growth in the past 4 years, just this last year under Trump's administration.
Was the Rubin report? Did that also accept Russian money?
What show did I do for
No,
Russia?
I'm not saying you did a show for Russia. I'm saying Russia saw you as a stooge who could easily say the talking points that benefited them.
But what law is stopping you from doing anything that another person cannot do?
Laws are not protecting trans people. If they were, trans people would not be disproportionately unemployed, unhoused.
What would you like the law to do for you? Again, the law can guarantee equality. It can't guarantee protection, right? So
yes, it certainly can.
So
has wokeness pushed America past the breaking point, or is the progressive movement the only answer to MAGA? I'm John Regalado, and from Jubilee Media, this is Surrounded, where one brave soul faces a room full of disagreeers. Today, we're unpacking what it means to be far left, the backlash to wokeness, and what your vote stands for in the upcoming midterm election. I'm here with our featured guest, conservative commentator Dave Rubin. Welcome.
It's good to be here.
Are y'all ready to debate, Dave? Yeah. Let's begin.
I'm Dave Rubin of the Rubin Report, and today I'm surrounded by the far left.
So, what that is right there, that's called a commercial break. All right, so this guy's gonna be surrounded here, and we're about to find out if they break him or if he stands tall. That's what we're about to find out right now. Right? So, a lot of people will break under this kind of pressure, no matter if they're a Democrat or Republican. So I don't blame anybody. Now me, I'm used to being jumped by this many people at once. This is kind of where I thrive in this kind of environment. So this should be interesting to see how long he can stand, because I'll give my response to each of them if I need to.
My first surrounded claim is that wokeism did more damage to America than Trump ever did.
All right, so this is his first claim. Wokeism. I'm done. Wokeism. This is his claim. He's making a claim, yo. He is not playing with you. Look at his face. He is like, look, this is not a game, bruh. This is not a game. Look, his eyes are closed on the competition. You can't see him. Look at that shit. All right, so claim one. Wokeism. Here, let me move my big ass head. Wokeism did more damage to America than Trump ever did. Nigga, yeah, hell yeah. Trump didn't do shit to America yet. I'ma say it like that. The reason why I'ma say it like that is because you guys haven't seen who's done something to America. Alright? And if you have seen somebody doing something to America, that Trump, like everybody did the same shit, and the only thing he did was say, let's go to war. right, and that's about it. Okay, maybe that wasn't awesome, but wokeism, yo, like, come on, do I even have to say the talking points? Do I have to give any of the explanations for like how wokeism is really kind of tipping the scale of tolerance versus Marxism, authoritarianism, where you guys are just forcing people to have to be this way or else, and that shit's not cool. Nigga, we already said fine, do your thing. Like, what else do you want? That's the question. What else do you want? We already said fine, do your thing, bro. Look, just like, look, hey, yo, yeah. I mean, cause you know we're on some other shit, and we don't want to argue with you. You know what I mean? I'm not against anybody having more progressive lifestyles. I'm not against them choosing that for themselves. But to try to say I have to do it or I have to be okay with it, you know, especially if it's gonna be forced on me or forced from my children to see, like you're forcing me to see it. It's like, yeah, we have a bit of a problem because I'm not trying to force you to see conservative points of view. I'm not trying to force you to see anything. See what I'm saying? You have a choice whether you want to see that or not. So if you have dedicated spaces for that shit, fine, hell yeah. There's a lot of bars that claim to be heterosexual bars, and there's a lot of bars that claim to be gay bars. And these are there for specific reasons, okay? Because there needs to be a certain amount of segregation for safety. Just like we have the men's bathroom and the women's bathroom. It is for safety. We can add a new bathroom and call it the trans bathroom. They already have a family bathroom, but you can add a fourth bathroom if you want to in those spaces and call it a trans bathroom. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. It could be right in the middle. Men, women, or men, trans women, or women, trans men. It could be right in the middle. Right there. And it'll only be stalls. Just like the girls' bathroom. Unless you want a urinal. Put a urinal on the wall in there. One or two in the corner. Sure, just to make you feel like men. Right? Like, what the fuck do you want? That shit don't make no sense. Anyways, wokeism is fucking up language. It's destroying English. We don't know what anybody means anymore. We're always getting each other fucked up and wrong. No one can understand each other. And now we're starting to have to read between the lines, which is fucking bullshit. Say what you mean to me, what you say, asshole. Don't sit here and fucking try to be Yoda. Like, oh, yeah, whatever, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, be straight up, dude. And people don't like me because I'm very blunt. I'm sorry. I'm very straightforward. Because if I like some shit, I'm gonna like that shit. Yeah, I know. I'm a little bit different when I approach a woman. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I like the way you doing that thing right there. What thing? Shit, look at your style. And then I walk away. I don't want to be with her, but sometimes I just like talking to her. You just walk up and say hi. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you doing that thing right there? Like, huh? And just leave. Don't even tell her what it is. Hey, how's your day going, right? Just ask. She's fine. Yeah, you are. Let me get up out of here real quick before I say something else. Make her giggle real quick. There's gonna be that one time where Shorty tell me don't go or don't leave or hey wait. I'll be like, what? I'm trying to do some shit. What you talking about? And then we probably gonna exchange numbers and kick it. But I don't mind saying hi. I'm not gonna do much else with you. Like, that's the thing. Like, women right now, they have this well, I can't say all of them, but there is this stigma about women right now and a stereotype about women that makes all of them goddesses and we have to put them on a pedestal, but then if we do that, we're simping. I'm confused. All right, so anyways, and then it's like boss babe season, and it's like, okay, cool, fine, be a boss babe, right? But like, while you're being a boss babe, like, technically that's a man, right? Technically being a boss babe is a man, right? Because you got a job, you're paying all the bills, you're on the hustle, and that's what men do, right? You don't got no kids, you ain't got no family. Unless you're the boss babe with kids and a family, then you should have a whole husband. You should have a boss nigga by your side. Unless choices weren't made correctly and yada yada, so on and so forth. Shit happens, sure, whatever. But at the same time, we all gotta be held accountable for our shit. And yeah, it could be his fault super quick, super easy. It's always his fault. I mean, he was hunching on her. But it's always her fault too, because she was letting him. Unless she wasn't letting him, then that's a whole different type of situation. See how bad that shit get real quick? So, like, this is the difference between accountability for a woman and accountability for a man when it comes to sex. If he didn't take it, it's on her, right? If he did take it, it's on him for sure. Those are the two stipulations in the situation. There's really no getting out of that. I mean, that's really cut and dry. She gave it up. She gave it up. You can't be mad at somebody else. Can't be mad at that man because she gave it up. She didn't have to give it up. And then if he took it, that's his fault at that point. So that's why, this is why it's like, it feels like chicken before the egg, or which came first, chicken or the egg. That's why that situation feels like that. Okay? It's because if a man takes it, he's fully accountable. If a woman gives it, she's fully accountable. That's the way that game is played. That's why she has to say he took it. Or else it's her fault. Because she gave it up. And if she gave it up, you gotta let him go. You gotta let him go. She gave it up. It's not even on him. Because if she had said no, now we can judge the situation differently. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So this is where accountability comes in. Now that we got that out of the way, we can go ahead and hit this, because this is going to be quick. I'm really trying to hit the questions.
All right, if you would like to debate this claim, please get to the center in
I
3,
think they
2,
chopped it up.
1.
1, 2, 3.
He's quick, he's quick.
4,
So
5 questions.
I find it interesting that you think wokeism has done so much damage to America as opposed to Donald Trump. Wokeism did not kick 17 million Americans off of their health insurance through Medicaid. Wokeism didn't start a disastrous war with Iran that has now led to inflation outpacing wage growth. Wokeism hasn't.
Okay, the war in Iran. Hold on. No.
Is that wokeism did more damage to America than Trump ever did.
All right, if you would like to debate this claim, please get to the center in 3, 2, 1.
He's quick, he's quick.
Yes, I am. So I find it interesting that you think wokeism has done so much damage to America as opposed to Donald Trump. Wokeism did not kick 17 million Americans off of their health insurance through Medicaid. Wokeism.
Okay. So he is on an anti-Trump raid. This is pent-up frustration that somebody else gave him. He doesn't even really care. You can look at his face. He doesn't even really care about what he's saying.
Didn't start a disastrous war with Iran that has now led to inflation outpacing wage growth. Wokeism hasn't ripped up institutions or attempted even to destroy free speech, even by your standards, because Ronald Reagan appointed judge ruled that the Trump administration was violating the First Amendment by attempting to deport, arrest, and detain students and faculty members on college campuses for protesting for Palestine. Wokeism, to me, it doesn't even have remotely as disastrous as a track record as Donald Trump.
Well, how would you define wokeism? I guess we should start with
I think wokeism is a pejorative term that's used to describe left-wing cultural politics.
Right, and what do you think left-wing cultural politics are?
I'd say left-wing cultural politics include just the broad attitudes towards social justice, especially for minority groups that have faced persecution in various ways.
Okay, so I think the simplest way to define wokeism is basically collectivism on steroids, and usually as it applies to race and gender, meaning that you should be judged based on the color, you actually should be judged based on the color of your skin and your sexuality and your gender and a whole bunch of immutable characteristics, and depending on where those those fall on the left's kind of hierarchy of importance, that's kind of how you can parse out where people should be and how important their ideas are.
So even assuming your characterization to be an accurate characterization, which I don't necessarily take.
Right, we're gonna have a lot of trouble getting to a fair agreement on
that
wokeism.
Wokeism has, for example, skyrocketed inflation to outpace wage growth the way that Donald Trump's war of aggression on Iran has done? Can you demonstrate that wokeism has violated the First Amendment by arresting students and faculty members on college campuses?
Okay, well, yes, I can. So let's start. Well, first off, the disastrous war, the quote-unquote disastrous war that you're talking about. You're talking about a 40-day military operation that stopped an apocalyptic regime from getting a nuclear bomb and exporting terrorism throughout the world. That we're now in an economic embargo of them, right? We've basically done a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. So to say it's a disastrous war,
we've done a blockade.
We did lose. Hang on. We did lose 13. We did lose 13 of our soldiers, and that is
killed over
terrible.
200 children.
But things happen in war, right? Well, things do happen in war. Wait, you can laugh at that. Hold on. Listen.
I agree, but that's why war should be a last option. If Donald Trump wanted to prevent the Islamic Republic of Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, he could have just stuck with the Iran nuclear deal that he ripped up. Iran did not enrich past the 3.67. Wait, they didn't enrich past the 3.67%.
That's not true.
In the JCP.
All right. So there's a lot of yip yapping happening right now because he's trying to bombard this guy with a bunch of fucking nonsense. Okay, there was a deal that was on the table, and if we look at the deal, see, this is what we'll do. All right, we'll pull up the guy. Hold on, because we're gonna do it like this. So. All right, so what was in the Iran deal with Obama, and was it allowing them to get a nuclear weapon or enrich to a nuclear weapon as a possibility of the way it was worded?
The Iran deal, officially the JCPOA, signed in 2015 under Obama, didn't allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon. It explicitly blocked the pathways to one in the short term by capping uranium enrichment at 3.67%, way below the 90% needed for bombs, slashing their enriched uranium stockpile by 98% to just 300 kilos, cutting centrifuges from around 20,000 down to about 6,000 old clunky ones for 10 years, and redesigning the Arat reactor so it couldn't crank out weapons-grade plutonium. It also ramped up IAEA inspections, unfettered access to declared sites, monitoring of supply chains, and a process to check suspicious spots. The official line was that Iran's program had to stay peaceful under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and the deal extended their breakout time, how long it'd take them to make enough bomb fuel if they cheated, from a couple months to at least a year for the first decade. On the enrichment part you asked about, no, it didn't greenlight them building a nuke. But yeah, it did let them keep enriching uranium at low levels for civilian power and research. That was a big concession. Iran has always claimed the right to do that under the NPT, and the deal basically accepted it with strict guardrails instead of demanding zero enrichment like some hardliners wanted. The real rub was the sunset clauses. Most of those tough limits on centrifuges, stockpiles, and enrichment levels started phasing out after 10 to 15 years, around 2026 to 2031. After that, Iran could have legally ramped up to industrial-scale enrichment with better centrifuges and bigger stockpiles, shrinking breakout time back down to months or even weeks. Critics called it a temporary pause that handed them a smoother path to a bomb later, while flooding them with sanctions relief money they could spend on missiles and proxies. Supporters said it bought time, verified compliance, and was better than the alternatives, bombing them or letting them sprint ahead unchecked. In reality, Trump pulled out in 2018. Iran started cheating and enriching way higher, up to 60%, and the deal's been on life support. Now their breakout time's reportedly down to days or a week on the material side. Bottom line, the wording didn't permit a nuclear weapon, it forbade it, but the temporary nature of the constraints meant the possibility was always baked in once the clock ran out. It was a bet on diplomacy and inspections holding them back, not a permanent fix.
So, there you heard it. It was a temporary ceasefire. A huge money dump. And they basically low-key was doing it. And just waiting. Buying time. Sounds good. Sounds like what a smart person would do, right? And all these secret mountain facilities, billions of dollars poured into it. Chinese and Russian. Yeah, they're involved. It's pretty funny. I think it's pretty funny. Yeah. I think I could laugh a little bit. Because it's gonna twist the arm of it's gonna twist the arm of Israel, because they're over there all alone. And if America's like, nah, buddy, you're on your own now, they're gonna pounce on Israel like a pack of wolves. And Israel is not there yet. They need they need NATO basically, to make a new NATO with Ukraine and them, all them together, so they could be the police over there. I think that's what they're working on, or at least that's what the talks were about. And you know, it's cool. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a very good thing. They need a chance. Everybody needs a chance at having civilization, man, without like being bullied. Like, who wants to be bullied? Like, I'm not taking that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
POA. They only got to 60% after Donald Trump left that deal and then started doing aggressive actions.
I must say, I'm impressed with your talking points. You've got impressive talking points, and you memorized them well. They're not correct, but I am impressed.
Okay,
first off, the Iranians admitted in the negotiations right before the war started that they were enriching past what they were allowed to. That's number one. Number two, you also have to go on the assumption. You also have to hold on. You also have to go on the assumption or acceptance that can you agree or verify their claims? It's one thing to say, oh, this is what we're doing, this is what we are agreed to, et cetera, but you have to be able to verify that. And the idea that we have people on the ground, or the UN or some third-party organization that can verify what they're actually doing with underground nuclear sites and a whole bunch of other things is I would say, quite a leap of faith, right? You want to trust but verify.
Can I respond to that?
Sure.
So the IAEA and U.S. intelligence said that Iran did not enrich past the 3.67% prior to Donald Trump ripping up and stepping out of the Iran nuclear deal in I believe it was 2017,
So again, in these negotiations,
because Donald Trump ripped up the Iran nuclear deal to begin with, that's the only reason why.
Let's try it. I'll try it a different way.
The IAEA assessments agree with me, and Tulsi Gabbard, our director of national intelligence, testified in front of Congress last year, and according to the entire intelligence community, Iran did not have a nuclear weapons program.
Okay, that they didn't have a nuclear weapons program. They were enriching past the point that they were allowed to for civilian use. Everyone knows that.
Yeah,
but allow me.
But you understand the weaponization process is different than.
Do you think the Iranian regime before this war, the Iranian regime that has oppressed the people of Iran for 40 years, do you think that was a good regime? Would you say that was a good government? Would you like to live under those people? Were they progressive in any way? Do they hold any of the values that any of you guys hold?
No, but we don't just start wars on countries whose politics we disagree with or who are oppressive to their own people. We were actually an ally to Saudi Arabia, and Mohammed bin Salman ripped up.
That I agree with. You don't do that.
Okay,
we got something. All right, we got something. We got something
Israel that has committed gross human rights violations in Gaza.
I'm shocked that Israel came up. Israel, the only place that has any of the progressive values that any of you guys share.
Really? This is perfect. This is perfect because one of the things that you told me at the beginning of this conversation was that wokeism was judging people based on characteristics and collective thought. Israel is literally centered around the prioritization of the Jewish people as a matter of policy. That is literally collectivist thought. So you must hate Israel too. You must think that that's the ultimate form of collective identity, right?
How many Muslim countries are there?
Okay, so you're just pivoting?
No, I'm going to answer.
Wait, is Israel collectivist?
How many Muslim Muslim countries are there?
I'm sure there are a lot of Muslim countries.
You have
because
any idea?
There are a lot more Muslims than,
Yeah.
than Jews.
Yeah, well, just ballpark. How many Muslim countries are there?
I would probably maybe say, like, let's say between 10 to 20, maybe.
All right, you're off by about 40. There's about 52 or 53 Muslim countries.
Yeah.
In any of those countries, how's it going for minorities, women, gays, Christians, Jews?
Yeah, I can say that other nations, it's extraordinarily repressive. But like I said,
Wait, we got to pause there. We got to pause there. You voted out by the majority.
Okay.
Please return to your seat.
It's been fun. Oh, she had it. She had it. All right.
Dave.
All right. Hi.
Good to meet you. I'm
Good to
actually a
meet
big
you.
fan. I've been watching you since like all the way back in the Sam Harris era.
Oh, yeah?
And then I remember you
Softening me up. Okay.
No, you brought
okay.
on like Stephen Molyneux, like the white nationalist. And I was like, this guy just loves ideas. He just loves all different types of ideas. I love that. But yeah, just want to talk right now specifically about the difference between progressive values and the MAGA coalition.
Sure.
It seems to me that all the ills that are attributed to wokeism are typically things that people find annoying. So people being overly, policey about their pronoun usage or talking about specific groups that might seem extremely marginalized. That's what I typically hear from the right. I don't hear like a degradation of like society unless it's the far theocratic right. And I don't think that you ascribe to that. Would you call yourself a theocrat?
I mean, I wrote the best-selling book on classical liberalism, so it's funny. I get called a conservative all the time. I actually happen to be a liberal in the truest sense of liberal.
You should join the circle.
Progressives are not liberal as a general rule of thought. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I just feel like that type of like annoyance that wokeism presents to the world is a lot less dangerous than like the coalition that you're a part of that like condemns people for having children when they're in gay marriages or says things like people that are of particular sexual orientations don't deserve the same equal rights. Would you say that that's something that's dangerous?
A coalition is going to have all sorts of people in it. So
it's like
MAGA, if we were talking
ideological
about,
diversity.
Yeah.
Right?
If we were talking about what MAGA is, what I like about MAGA actually is that it's not a specific set of you have to believe this exact set, right? You have to believe these exact
some people MAGA can
things.
believe like gay couples can have kids, and others can believe like that's degeneracy and those people need to be jailed. Well, those are like the different ideas.
Well, actually, the tough answer to that is yes, as long as you're not trying to litigate someone's life. I am around a lot of conservatives all the time, and particularly Christian conservatives. Let's say they generally are not for gay marriage. By the way, there's not one mosque in the United States that performs gay marriages, which is worth noting.
Why are you so focused on Muslims today?
Well, I'm just giving you a fact. But what I have found consistently, Donald Trump was the first incoming first-time president that was for gay marriage.
I actually really want to talk about
Barack Obama was not for gay marriage when he first came in.
And until
so what I would say is the MAGA movement. I mean, look, Scott Bessent, who's the Treasury Secretary, is married to a man and has kids. Peter Thiel is married to a man and has kids. Douglas Murray is one of the greatest voices we have in conservatism. Happens to be gay. I don't. For the most part, people on the right actually believe in individual rights and don't really care. But that doesn't mean that everyone has to have the same religious perspective on everything.
But you've been around the block for a long time, and just like you alluded to, in 2016, Trump held up a flag that said LGBTQ for Trump. He was asked in a CBS interview, would you let Caitlyn Jenner use the bathroom that she wants to in your hotels? He said absolutely. He didn't have a problem with that.
He actually gave a better answer than that. He said, I'm a hotel builder. If you told me I had to build one bathroom, that would be fine with me. I think it's a great answer.
But that's what's crazy is that evolution has changed so much to the current MAGA movement. The MAGA movement said that Donald Trump would absolutely not say that somebody could use the bathroom aligned with their gender identity. He specifically banned that. And not just that, but he's also just called for, he specifically wrote an executive order that classifies far leftist groups like pro-transgender groups as a danger to the country, which often the entire military can go after. That is insane. That is absolutely a violation of people's individual rights.
All right, so you want to talk about the trans issue sort of broadly?
Fact check. Anybody want to read that? Go ahead. May 6th, 2026. Right? Oh, wow. That's bad. It's crazy.
I want to talk about the MAGA coalition.
What I can tell you,
individual liberty, yet wants to police the way that people express
But what are they
themselves,
doing?
That also wants to police people's bodies, that want to go after people specifically because of their ethnicity. None of that should be
so Donald Trump is in the middle of his second term. Gay marriage is here. It's passed. It's a just cause. I believe in individual rights.
Wait, you're friends with Michael Knowles, right?
Yeah.
So what's that coalition again called? I think it's like Less Equal. That's trying to actually get rid of Obergefell and overturn gay marriage rights. Does that not concern you?
Well, first off, I've never heard of that specific organization. But what I can tell you,
you're friends with them.
Michael is part of. I just don't know what you're talking about. But what I would
look it up right now. It's called Less Than.
No,
it's Lila Rose, Michael Knowles. I think it's what's that guy's name at the Daily Wire, the head one?
Okay, but that's not Donald Trump.
I understand they want to go away from this.
No, that's not Donald Trump. That's not the head of the party. I have friends. Well, first off, Michael and I are friends, but there is a cap on our friendship. There actually is.
Friends with someone who doesn't want you to be in love, my man.
He doesn't want me to be in love. He's had dinner at my house with his wife. My husband cooked for him.
That's against God. So I want to have a word with him.
No. But think about what you're saying. Think about what I'm saying. In your name, wait. Hold on, champ. In your world of how tolerant you are showing me you are, you're actually showing a remarkable amount of intolerance because although I don't know the group that you're talking about, Michael Knowles as a human being has been to my house and my husband has cooked him lamb and we have enjoyed evenings together and shared personal moments and all of those things. Now, do we agree on absolutely everything? Of course, the answer to that is no. And if Michael or anyone else was trying to lead some organization that was going to go against my civil rights, well, that is where obviously we would have our difference of opinion, of course.
Dave,
but I also respect people's religious beliefs. They're allowed to have their religious beliefs. Their religious beliefs are not allowed to legislate my life. This is all very separate from the trans thing, which obviously I sense is going to come up a few more times.
I'll just say real quick, I'm not trying to come after you. I believe that you should have the full liberty to have the family of your choice. But what I will say is I'm glad Michael treats you with respect individually when you guys are together. But when he goes in front of this platform and says that a video of two gay men having a child is the most disgusting thing that he's ever seen, which is a quote, you can look up the tweet. Michael said that child is in one of the most dangerous situations he can think of, which is crazy to think of all the abusive parents that actually live in this society, regardless of sexual orientation. And you're gonna look at a happy family and say, this is disgusting. That should feel like a violation.
On April 16th, 2026. April 17th, 2026.
Okay, so I didn't see that video, but if what you're asking me is do I agree with, let's just say what you said is true, do I agree with Michael's point on that? Of course the answer is no.
But that is the MAGA coalition.
No.
That is the ideology.
No, that's not the coalition. No, that's not the coalition. No, that's not the coalition. You're taking a very specific person and you're saying—
Is it a small specific?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yes, oh, it is. No, that's completely absurd. It's completely absurd. It's completely absurd.
We got to pause there. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Ooh, commercial break. Dang, hit us with the left and the right on that shit. It was nuts. All right, you guys ready?
Good grab.
I want to go to your prompt in a second, but I just wanted to address, so I actually come from a Christian background. I spent a lot of my career debating Christian nationalists. And even the nicest Christian nationalists, they do want to take your rights. I spend a lot of time talking to these people, even the really nice ones. So I just want to be careful, and I guess I want to say, I remember when you posted about having your kids on Twitter, which congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
The comments were horrifying. I don't know if you remember, but it was Christian nationalists and Republicans tearing you and your husband down for having a child.
Well, you should also note there was a lot of love. There was an awful lot of love from an awful lot of conservatives and liberals and people across the board and everything else. The way the internet operates is people only focus on the negative. So was there a whole bunch of nasty
Which
comments?
side did it
Was there a
come
whole
from
bunch of
more?
nasty? What?
Yes. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest. Which side?
For that, if you're asking me about for that specific post, it
Democrats
was
and
no.
liberals.
For that specific post, it was mostly people on the right. For sure, it was.
Who were attacking him.
Yeah, I
Of course.
fully acknowledge that.
Of course.
Absolutely. 99% of the hate that I get is from people that are in this circle.
Sure, but it's definitely not for being gay.
What?
It's,
No.
it's
Well,
for supporting,
no.
going back to the prompt,
No.
It's for supporting.
It's not for being gay, like
an
the act of
authoritarian,
gay.
desiring,
Yeah.
probably demented old man. So going back to the prompt of wokeism, it seems like you defined it as intersectionality, some collectivization based on demographic
you take,
factors.
we can basically.
So
go with
wokeism
that.
is intersectionality.
It is a piece. Well, intersectionality is a piece of wokeism. If you're going to group people on these immutable characteristics, and then you decide based on this, we got to put black people up here, we've got to put white guys down here. Gays are going to be above the straights, trans will be above the gays. You know, you have this
And what
endless
specific
hierarchy.
policy harms have happened?
I mean, quite literally, the easiest one would be college admissions. I mean, we know that Harvard and other colleges were discriminating against mostly white and Asian students because they wanted more diversity, and they were allowing students of color with lesser grades to get in. As a general rule,
If we're worried about universities, who's cutting their funding?
Well,
Who's
do you
cutting
agree?
science
Do you agree?
funding?
Do you agree that that happened?
To some degree, I think it was overblown to a
Well,
large degree.
yeah, I
Because
mean,
affirmative action basically ended, I think, in the early 2000s, right? A lot of these issues.
All right. This is Jubilee's fact check. I'm not sure if we should do our own over here on the site, but we will go ahead and continue with this and say, fact check. In Students for Fair Admissions v. Harvard, decided June 2023. Okay, so this is fairly new. Okay, make sure you guys are
Were clamped down on
reading
pretty quickly. And
Okay, any other dates in here? Dates. So, Harvard's program violated the Equal Protection Clause. Equal Protection Clause, wow. Imperial. Discrimination. Okay. Ooh. Ew. It was taking in dummies. Dang, bruh.
the issue is that when you look at the reason
Well,
why
I mean, you could look at corporations. I mean, all these corporations that have their DEI stickers. I was just on a Delta flight. They still have their DEI sticker on there.
DEI is not inherently a bad thing. Why would diversity ever be a problem for anyone?
Well, diversity in and of itself.
First of all, diversity is not a bad thing, but treating somebody special because of their race is a bad thing. There's a such thing as putting down and putting up. Oh man, it's wild. It's wild because we're getting there. We're getting there. It looks like the stream might have got suspended or whatever. But we were about to wrap it up anyway, or at least it got suspended on YouTube. Not sure if it's on Rumble. But I'm still streaming right now, still letting you guys know I'm here. But I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody that went to work today. I appreciate you guys. You guys make the world go round. Everybody that did overtime, you're doing the work nobody else wants to do, so you are appreciated as well. And it is about that time. They cut the stream anyway, but there is a lot to unpack in this one. They don't want us to get political. And then the Jubilee, like, yeah, I guess, right? Yeah. So, I guess we can't do that one, especially because it's so new. And the topics that are on there got us in a situation. So, we took it down. We stopped sharing it. and we'll see if the stream comes back live. But I think it is time. I didn't get the question. I gotta get better prepared, guys. I gotta get better prepared. This is just like a little kick it, you know, it's just like a little hobby, you know. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to do this for money. If I happen to get tips, that's cool, but I don't want to do this for money. I just want to do this just because, like, I like hanging out with the guys and like really looking at shit, whatever, and shooting the shit. So it's cool. I am going to bring everything back, but we're not going to do the Jubilee anymore. That one is obviously they don't want us doing that. So I will be doing this other, and we'll be doing the world. I'm just going to pull up the world. I'm just going to talk shit. Alright, so I think we're back live on YouTube. Alright, sweet. They cut out the Jubilee shit. They don't want us talking about that, which is fine. It's fine. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this here, and we're gonna share the. This shit is cool, right? This shit is cool. So, this right here is the world. I'm not sure who's familiar with the world. It's supposed to be a ball. That's why I got it looking like this. Okay? Because when they have it on that flat, it fucks me up every time. Seriously. Now, we're gonna go ahead and look at the world. Dash, ready? Whoa. Alright, so here's Ethiopia. Everybody we talk about some Ethiopia. A lot of people don't even know where any of these places are. I could show them this and I could ask them, what is this right here? They probably wouldn't even know what area on the map this is, just because of how it is on the picture. This is Africa. Egypt is right up here. All of this got hit with famine. Yep. God was like, nah, bruh. That's all the locusts came through and ate all this shit. So God blew them away. That's it. At least that's the way it's been told. The Bible tell you. Fuck, the locusts ate all this shit. Because Egypt was like, pretty much like ran Africa, ran like a lot of shit. Egypt was like the whole world at one point. At least that's what they say. Let's do this. So tell us about Egypt. Is it true that Egypt ruled the whole entire world at one point?
Egypt never ruled the whole entire world, not even close. The ancient Egyptian empire peaked under the New Kingdom, roughly 1550 to 1070 BCE, controlling chunks of Nubia to the south, parts of the Levant and Syria to the northeast, and dominating trade across the eastern Mediterranean. But they never touched China, India, most of Europe, or the Americas. At their height, they were one of the big regional powers alongside the Hittites, but calling that world rule is like saying the New York Yankees once ruled baseball because they dominated the AL East. Egypt's real golden eras were cultural and architectural, not global domination. The pyramids, the pharaohs as living gods, the Nile-based economy that fed massive populations, those lasted millennia. They got conquered repeatedly by the Assyrians, Persians, Greeks under Alexander, Romans, Arabs, Ottomans, British. Cleopatra was the last Ptolemaic ruler, basically Greek, and after her, Egypt became just another Roman province. Modern Egypt is a different beast. Population around 110 million, mostly crammed along the Nile. Cairo's a chaotic megacity of over 20 million. Economy runs on tourism, Suez Canal revenue, oil, remittances, and agriculture. It's got a massive military, deep military influence in politics, and has bounced between authoritarian rule and brief democratic experiments. Hot take: Egypt's real legacy isn't conquering the world, it's surviving it. 3,000 years of continuous civilization, adapting through conquest after conquest, while keeping that Nile-fed cultural core intact. That's rarer and honestly more impressive than temporary empire building. Most world conquerors flash and burn. Egypt just endures.
Oh, dang, look at that. They got whole cities. They got a lot of green, too. It's a lot of green stuff out here.
Yeah, that's the Nile for you. Egypt's basically a desert with a green ribbon of life slicing right through it. The green you're seeing is the Nile Valley and Delta, where like 95% of Egyptians live, farming on that sweet black soil the river dumps every year. Outside that strip, nothing but sand and rocks for hundreds of miles. The Nile's basically the reason Egypt exists at all. Cairo's a chaotic beast, massive, loud, packed with history. Luxor's got the Valley of the Kings and those insane temples. Alexandria's got that Mediterranean vibe on the coast. But yeah, the contrast is wild. You'll be driving through pure desert, and then bam, palm trees, fields, people everywhere. The Nile's the OG lifeline. Without it, Egypt's just another empty Sahara sandbox. You seeing the pyramids yet, or still just soaking in the greenery?
I'm looking right now because it looks like out in that desert, we would say west of the Nile, all the way through Libya, it looks like there's people in the mountains, and they were doing some farming out here too. It looks like. Hold on, let me look some more.
Yeah, you're probably spotting the oases or those massive desert farming projects out in the western desert. That whole area west of the Nile is mostly brutal Sahara, but there are pockets of green where underground aquifers or pumped water let people grow shit. Places like Siwa Oasis, Baharia, Farafra, Dakhla, those are the classic ones with date palms, olives, and little farms thriving in the middle of nothing. Further west into Libya, it gets even wilder. In the Tidrat Akakas Mountains, those rocky ranges in southwest Libya, the Tuareg people have been doing clever flood recession farming for thousands of years. When rare heavy rains hit, water collects in natural rock pools called etagas, and they plant wheat, barley, sorghum right there in the temporary wet spots. It's some OG desert survival hack. You're also seeing Egypt's big modern flexes, like the Toshka project and East Owinat, where they're pumping ancient fossil water or rerouting Nile water to create giant circular crop fields smack in the desert. Looks insane from above. Keep looking. Tell me what else you're seeing out there. Any circular irrigation patterns or just scattered green in the rocks?
Dang, Libya's kind of empty, but you can see like where all the people do live. I'm just looking right now. They're trying to do some farming out here. It looks pretty cool from the satellite.
Hell yeah. From space, Libya looks like one giant sand trap with a few desperate green dots clinging to life. Most Libyans are crammed into that narrow coastal strip where the Mediterranean actually gives a fuck. Tripoli, Benghazi, Misrata. That's where like 90% of the population lives, because the rest of the country is just angry desert trying to kill you. The farming you're seeing is a mix of two vibes, those old school desert oases where people been squeezing water out of the ground for centuries. Gaddafi's crazy great man-made river project. Dude basically built a $25 billion underground pipeline network to pump ancient fossil water from under the Sahara up to the coast and into these big circular pivot farms you're probably seeing. It's one of the most batshit expensive water projects ever built, and they're literally drinking water that fell as rain 5,000 years ago. From satellite it looks dope, but on the ground half that shit is failing because the water's running out, and the country's been a chaotic mess since Gaddafi got turned into a human piñata. Desert farming's cool as hell until Mother Nature reminds you who's really in charge. You zooming in on any specific green blob that looks extra weird?
Okay, I see this. Oh wow, that's very close to Spain. Morocco, very interesting.
Morocco's the one right across the strait from Spain. Yeah, that tiny gap is literally just 8 miles at the narrowest point between Tangier and Gibraltar. On a clear day, you can actually see each other across the water. It's wild because geographically and culturally, it's North Africa, but it's always been this bridge between the Arab world, Europe, and sub-Saharan Africa. You've got the Atlas Mountains running through it like a spine, with crazy green valleys and snow on the peaks in winter. Then it drops into the Sahara in the south. Marrakesh, Fez, Casablanca, those cities slap different. You looking at the coastline, or did you zoom in on something specific in Morocco that caught your eye?
It's just I'm just looking at this too, because when we're looking at the world, a lot of people don't stop and really look and see the world is big, but it's still so small, because the way, like, just how we affect each other from so far away, so many different levels, without even knowing it.
That's the shit that fucks with your head once you really start staring at the map like this. You're looking at Morocco and Spain, just a few miles apart, but those few miles carried Islam into Europe, kicked off centuries of conquest and culture clash, and still shape politics today. Same with how North African dust fertilizes the Amazon, or how a drought in the Sahel can send migrant waves all the way to Europe. Everything's connected in ways we don't even clock in daily life. You're right though, the world looks massive until you zoom out and realize how fucking tight it all is. One ocean current, one wind pattern, one trade route, and suddenly Cairo's connected to Paris and Timbuktu whether they like it or not. What's hitting you the most while you're scanning all this?
Let me ask you a question. Where on this map am I gonna find something that I wouldn't expect in the Arctic?
Volcanoes, baby. Head up to Iceland, it's right on the Arctic Circle, and you'll see black lava fields, steaming geysers, and active volcanoes popping off like it's fucking Hawaii. That whole island is one giant molten wound where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates are ripping apart. You're sitting in the Arctic looking at red-hot magma and boiling blue pools. Shit looks completely out of place. Even wilder, there's a place in Greenland called Kuanasut where they've got an actual open-pit ruby mine. Rubies in the Arctic. Blood-red gems getting yanked out of ice-cold rock. And if you really want to fuck your brain, there's a spot in northern Canada, way up in the Arctic, with a massive pingo that looks like a giant volcano, but it's actually a frozen earth blister full of ice. Looks like it belongs on Mars, not Earth. Want me to get even more unhinged with the Arctic weirdness?
Alright, let me see. This is beautiful though. British Columbia. You don't hear about British Columbia too often. But we got Great Britain over here across the water. This United Kingdom, this Great Britain, right? And then you got, where did it go? Washington, D.C. It used to be its own little thing. This means a little thing. Dang. Used to be like that. Oh dang, they took the capital, they took it off of the, it's crazy. I mean, it's probably for security reasons, I guess. You either know or you don't, right? Yeah, I remember it used to be like right up in here. Yeah, it used to be right up in here. There it is. They don't call it DC no more. They just call it Washington. Ah, that's slick. That's real slick. Because, you know, that's why this Washington always ends up blowing up. Because they think it's this one. That's funny. United States, y'all funny. Oh man, that's funny. That's hilarious. But yeah, this is us just having fun with the map, because when we're looking at this shit, man, it's kind of crazy. Like, all up in here is fucking dead. All of this right here, where these little green spots are, that's probably the most beautiful places you'll ever see. Where these green areas are. But you can see where it's all scarred. They destroyed all the fucking green shit. This used to be all green. They burnt it all down, guys. It's fucked up. Look at it's all black and shit. They burnt all these fucking trees down. Damn, bro. This is used to be so green. It's gone now. Washington used to be green too. All this shit used to be fucking green. All this shit. I remember all the fires. All that shit's all burnt up. You can see it. It used to look like this. Don't worry, they finna burn all this shit down towards Tacoma too. It's gonna look like that. They just destroyed everything on this side. Look at this side. This side is greener. But this is like swamp shit. It's all swamp. And then you start getting up here, it's a little bit greener. New York has some pretty green shit. I think my favorite something about Canada. I don't know, it just seems so orderly in certain areas. It's so cool. Shit fucks my head up. Shit fucks my head up. Man, I think here. Here. This was so cool looking at this big ass fucking lake. It's awesome. Then we went around the bridge. Oh, it was so fun. I just love driving around and shit. It was fun. Like, you know, I miss like, you know, being young and going out and experiencing everything. Shit. Like going to all these places. This shit used to be so green. Yeah, of course, there's these freaking bum spots, right? But it was never like this. It was greener. I remember when Arizona first started having all these wildfires. That's when all our shit started getting burnt down. We used to have really good weather, too. But that's when I used to live out there. Sedona's litty lit. It's hot as bricks down here, though. yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really nothing out there. That's why, you know, I think my favorite place is Portland was pretty fucking awesome. Portland was fucking awesome. But people are weird. But Portland was awesome. For sure. Now, hey, that's cool. Should have went there. So I should have. But that's what I'm talking about. The world is. Sometimes you just gotta go look. Look, this is why everybody like Miami. It's because of this. It's like they have this little spot right here where the beach is so pretty. But that goes away real quick. Because once you get up this way, it starts to fade. So that's why they say Miami has one of the most beautiful beaches because it has that sliver. But if you go across the water to these Bahamas over here, look at all this water. This shit look way clean. Like, you can see that from space, how clean that water is. Like, where else on earth is the water that clean? Go look. That shit stood out. Where on earth is it that clean and blue? Where you can see it from, no, I'm not giving nobody no fucking cheaties. I zoomed in a little bit. Because you can see that shit from space, how clean that water was. Where else? Nowhere. Nowhere on the planet. You can see it from space, how clean that water is. What? You can see it from space. Puerto Rico. You can see it from space how clean that water is. Where else? Right here. Okay. Guantanamo. Guatemala. They had some stuff right there. Some clean shit. Cuba's in that little cut right there. You feel me? Who else? Who else got that clear of water? Anywhere else in the world without having to zoom in, bro. Okay, maybe a smaller, maybe. It could just be the cloud helping. I was about to get chilly son. Maybe at the tip it. Nope. Nowhere on earth does it look like this. You can check. Look, we're looking all over the planet. There is no beaches like the beaches of the Bahamas and Jamaica and all the Caribbean. There's no beaches like it. Like Hawaii's right here. And look, their shit is still not even. Right here in the middle between these islands, you got a tiny little sliver of it right in front of that cloud. But nigga, that's nothing. That's nothing. Look at this. From space, bro. What? You can see that from space. Bruh, you can see the Bahamas from space. Okay, now that's on my to-do list. I'm going to the Bahamas. I gotta go see this one. It's not that big. Okay, the Bahamas ain't that big. Okay, I can walk this shit. Alright, cool. I could probably walk across this little... I could probably touch the bottom of this water. I might go swimming. Yeah. I don't know. That looks kind of far, though. Looks a little far across the water. Water is a lot further than it looks. It's a lot of that stuff. Can't just go walking around this place. barren rocks out here. Oh shit! Might catch a body out there somewhere. It's a lot of sandbars and shit up here. Okay. Okay, I get it. I think I'm starting to see what it's all about now. See, I think the Bahamas is somewhere you go to just be like away from the world and to yourself. And like you'll have this beautiful little area like this, and you'll just be away from the world, enjoy your room, the amenities, and really just the beach, and then just go home. That's it. It doesn't look like there's really much else to do, and these clubs will turn up, I bet, but you know, this is just one of those kind of places where like you just go for a minute and then you leave. So I'll definitely do that. I will bring my own food, and I'll see if okay. It looks nasty. I ain't gonna lie. It might be turned though. It might be turned up. But I probably wouldn't eat the food there. I probably. Yeah, nah, damn, that sucks. They make the Bahamas sound like it's built as fuck. Looks nice, don't get me wrong. I mean, the beach and that water is just beautiful. I would have to do some research. Not finish just go anywhere. I'm gonna say Bahamas, I'm gonna say that shit. I want to be by the main city where I can go to a Walmart. Like, hell yeah. Like, let's got a Walmart in the Bahamas. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, here's a community store. Nice, nice. Is that a school? Oh, that is a school. Oh, there's a school in the Bahamas. This place is probably so small. You probably have, like, it's probably like a city. The whole place is like one city. But that water is something else, man. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just the most shallowest water ever. But you can see that shit from space. Oh yeah, this shit's all boring. I bet you. Shoot across the water. Man, that shit's probably so beautiful out there. Just cause like I mean, like, if you real close to the shore, maybe you got some spots out. Ooh. Jamaica is more of a this and shit. These look like drop off edges, bro. People be talking about the beach in Jamaica, but you don't have to fall in. Alright, I'm about to call it. Alright, we had some fun. Oh, there's their white sand water spot right there. They finally had a beach in Jamaica. First beach I found. Wonder what this one's called. This is beach. Okay, fine. Jamaica won't be happy. It is kind of small. Like, everybody know everybody in Jamaica. So, the minute you do some shit over here, these niggas way over here could have your number. Alright, guys. I'm ready for bed. We're out of here. It's time for me to shut.
Get ready.
My little homegirl put me on. She said, this shit brand new, free flow. Lady rappers been acting like this is not an art. Huh, you forgot about that part. Lady rappers been acting like this is not an art. Huh, you forgot about that part. Lady rappers been spitting like they ain't got a heart. Because when I step to the game, I rip that shit apart. My evolution with the Gyarados from Magic Carp, and I ain't finished shopping till the whole world is in my cart. When you fucking with me, you choose a role and play your part. Beneficial functionality and strategize it smart. With motion through reality, always feel this hard. Only if the universe keeps dealing shitty cards. I'm trying as hard as I can against all of the odds. Pushing as hard as I could is what got me so far. But what are my chances of actually reaching the stars? Still, I will never get up tatted over my heart. Never my senses hiding and my weed up in the jar. Sexy Middle Eastern looking ass like I'm Jafar. When it comes to the game, I'm an eagle, you're par. Please don't get to slipping, I'ma catch you off guard. While you chillin' in the crib, got your chick in my car. Every time you hear it tripping like that shit sounds bizarre. Your favorite rapper try hard, still is a mark. Still light the fuel to the game, watch it spark. My lines burn like blunts getting smoked in the dark. Hella cooking shit up if your ass wanna spar. Barbecue your beef up like the seats in my car. Cool yourself off refrigerator and jar. Baby rappers be not rap like this is not an art. Huh, you forgot about that part. Lady rappers been acting like this is not an art. Huh, you forgot about that part.
This shit exclusive.
My little homegirl put me on. She said, this shit brand new, free flow. Lady rappers been acting like this is not an art. Huh, you forgot about that part. Lady rappers been acting like this is not an art. Huh, you forgot about that part. Lady rappers been spitting like they ain't got a heart. Because when I step to the game, I rip that shit apart. My evolution with the Gyarados from Magic Carp, and I ain't finished shopping till the whole world is in my cart.
When you want to change,
you choose a role and play your part.
If you do not want to better yourself, if you do not want to break out outside of this matrix,
Only if the
if you want to live in your comfortable delusion
I'm trying
that
as
they
hard
have
as I
built
can against
for
all
you,
of the odds. Pushing as hard as I could is what got me so far.
do not
But what are my chances of
watch
actually
these
reaching the
videos.
stars?
Leave
Still,
this
I
channel.
will never get up tatted over my heart. Never my
If
senses
you
hiding in my
do
weed
not
up in the jar.
want any
Sexy
truth,
Middle Eastern looking
don't
ass
want
like
to
I'm
understand.
Jafar.
If you
When
are
it
not
comes to
here
the game, I'm
to
an eagle, you're par. Please don't
hear
get to slipping.
something
I'ma catch you
outside
off
of your
guard.
own
While you
mind
chillin' in the crib,
and
got your
accept
chick in my
others'
car.
minds
Every
and
time you hear it
opinions and the
tripping
way
like
they
that shit
think for
sounds
themselves
bizarre.
who do not
Your
belong
favorite
here.
rapper try hard, still isn't mark.
And finally,
Still light the
if
fuel
you
to
are
the
not
game, watch
trying
it spark.
to
My
be
lines burn
positive,
like blunts
if
getting
you are not
smoked in
trying
the
to
dark.
help
Hella cooking
create
shit up.
solutions
If your
while we
ass wanna
discuss the
spar,
problems and how
barbecue
they
your
got here,
beef up like the seats in my
you do
car.
not
Cool
belong
yourself
here.
up, refrigerator,
Negativity,
jar.
hate, disrespect, name calling, those things will not be allowed here on this platform and not in this empire. We are the ones, the true Americans, that want to be free and stand as we have always stood.
Damn, this shit exclusive.